Here we are again, talking about one of the biggest fights in UFC history that will never happen. It's time to move on. It really is. Tom Aspinall has been wasting his prime away waiting for Jon Jones. Jon Jones clearly has no interest whatsoever in doing this Tom Aspinall fight. It's just gotten to the point where, honestly, the hype has kind of plummeted for this massive fight. I mean, really, like, the excitement, it's in one of these rare situations, one of these rare fights where it was so big, but it's taken so long to happen to the point where now people are just losing interest. We are bored of this. We are bored of waiting. We are bored of Jon Jones ducking and teasing and just coming at Tom Aspinall in comments saying to shut up and do as you're told. It's really ridiculous already, and I think we should just move on and have Jon Jones stripped of this title so we can move on and have Tom Aspinall face Cyril Gane. I mean, when you look, already almost 150,000 people signed a petition for Jon Jones to get stripped. This has been going viral for the last couple days, and this is definitely one of the biggest ways that we as UFC fans can show something to the UFC to really voice our opinions on the matter. Because the UFC still thinks that we are dying for this Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall fight, that we will wait at all costs until it happens. It's enough already. Like, to wait until November, till MSG, nah. Like, Jon Jones should already be stripped of it. They're making guys like Ilia Topuria and Islam vacate, and Jon Jones ain't getting that same treatment where it's like, okay, we got to move along the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division has been so awful, and it's kind of been this forgotten division. The heavyweight division is so, like, out of touch these days, and you rarely have any of these relevant heavyweight fights anymore. The heavyweight division is supposed to be the big boys of the UFC, and we have not had an actual, like, pop-off main event that involves two heavyweights. This is the only matchup that can really do that can hold the weight of a pay-per-view, and it's just never going to happen, really. I think Dana White, honestly, by the end of this is going to be looked at as one of the biggest liars for how many times he said it's 100% happening. He 100% guarantees that Jon Jones fights in 2025, saying on his live. It's just time to move on. And I think that the UFC needs to do something that, again, Lucas Tracy echoes, is the UFC needs to do a better job of promoting their fighters, promoting the current guys that are the now, like Tom Aspinall. And Tom Aspinall could have already fought like 2 times in this wait time. He finished Curtis Blaydes within the first 90 seconds without any damage in his fight back in July, UFC 304. He could have fought easily probably 2 other times before November rolls around to maybe have this mega fight in Madison Square Garden. And the fact that obviously he wanted to wait and become that big, massive, have this big, massive fight where he could take on not arguably, but the greatest fighter of all time in Jon Jones and try to be the first man to beat Jon Jones in the octagon and become the undisputed heavyweight title. And he's already voiced multiple times he doesn't even really care about if it's Jon or not. He just wants that undisputed heavyweight title, which rightfully so. He's been holding the interim for way too long now. You have the longest, like one of the longest interim champions in Tom Aspinall. You have one of the longest disputed champion in Jon Jones. But Jon Jones, of course, is just milking it because he wants to collect all the big checks. He doesn't want to lose any of the opportunities that come with losing, being the heavyweight champion. And Jon Jones is just terrified of losing. He just did a podcast today with this guy Vic Blends, who interviews his celebrity guests while giving haircuts. Just released today, a couple hours ago. And Jon Jones said in that interview that would be absolutely depressed and sad and anything if he lost, because he has this winning mentality, winning culture. And he sees that some fighters, they smile and they shrug it off when they lose, but not him. Jon Jones, with his ego, knowing that he has put together one of the greatest fighting resumes of all time, and for him to potentially put that on the line against probably one of his biggest challenges since he came into the heavyweight division. This young guy who's looking to be that next one up that takes you out and becomes that heavyweight champ. Jon Jones has no kind of way of scouting Tom Aspinall. There's no fight footage on Tom Aspinall to really see where there's flaws in his game, because Tom Aspinall has the shortest average fight time in the UFC. So, yeah, Jon Jones is just terrified of the idea of losing and ending his career on that note with Tom Aspinall. Also, this guy that interviewed him today asked him, "What do you think we get one last rodeo out of you?" And Jon Jones basically completely just tiptoed and danced around the question. He's like, "Well, I feel like I'm at the point where, I have the opportunity to come in and out as I choose, and right now I'm just being happy." And he basically just completely disregarded the yes or no question if he has one more, because obviously what the interviewer was looking for was for him to say, "Yeah, I got one more in me," and that would obviously be against Tom Aspinall, because there's no other matchups for Jon Jones in the UFC. So this is where we lay, guys. Tom Aspinall really should just be fighting Cyril Gane next for the undisputed heavyweight title. We just got to move on with this. Whether Jon Jones already told the UFC his plans and that the UFC has just been withholding this because they still have this lasting, very last hope that Jon Jones will come through and take their deal and fight Tom Aspinall. Maybe that's the case, but I mean, waiting till November is such a long time. It really is for Tom Aspinall. Again, he could have fought 2 other times in this time span, and he's just wasting away his prime as a champion. But it's just time to move on already. I've already kind of got bored of this. Of course, if they were to announce this fight still, immediately I think the hype would come back for sure. But as of right now, I'm just bored of this. I don't even really want to seek this fight anymore. I just kind of want things to move along. So, yeah, that's that. And then one other thing that we got to discuss that came out today, a rumored new fight on the Abu Dhabi card, is that Petr Yan, the number 2 ranked bantamweight in the world, I think. Is he number 2? Or is he number 3? But he's fighting number 13, Marcus McGhee, in UFC Abu Dhabi. What is this matchmaking, man? When you have rumors going around now of Volk fighting Yair, and then you're putting Petr Yan, who's trying to get another big title shot after coming back off a win versus Figgy and Song Yadong, and you're putting him against the number 13 ranked guy, and Marcus McGhee coming off a win versus what's his name, Martinez. Really? I mean, don't get me wrong, this card is going to be stacked. When they got Robert Whittaker and De Ridder, you put Petr Yan on there with Movsar Evloev versus Aaron Pico. But the theme of this Abu Dhabi card is going to be what the hell type matchmaking. Having Movsar Evloev fight Aaron Pico is a fight that should never exist. Movsar should be getting the title shot next. It would feel like such a waste of time to have Movsar fight on that card versus Aaron Pico. And I don't know much about Aaron Pico. If Aaron Pico somehow beats Movsar, then, but yeah. And then to have Petr Yan, I mean, clearly they wanted to probably do Petr Yan versus Umar, but according to Umar, he's not going to be ready until October. But, I mean, still, to give Petr Yan Marcus McGhee, the number ranked 13 guy, I don't understand this matchmaking at all. It's going to be hype to have Petr Yan on the Abu Dhabi card. It's going to be super stacked, but it's just really weird matchmaking. To have Petr Yan fight back so deep back in the rankings, Marcus McGhee should not deserve right now to have a chance to climb to the top 3 of the division. So this is a rumored fight now going on. I mean, Petr Yan could have probably also fought Merab again in a rematch. I don't even know why Peter accepted this fight, if this is accurate, if this is true. But who else could you match him up against? I don't know. Sanhagen's kind of waiting in the wings for a title shot. Yeah, I'm not really sure who else. I think Petr Yan should have waited for Umar in October and you do Petr Yan versus Umar on the Abu Dhabi pay-per-view. But this right here is just kind of weird matchmaking, honestly. But still, it could be a very entertaining fight. Not doubting that. Just weird matchmaking by the UFC. And yeah, that's kind of the discussions right now trending in the UFC. We got UFC 316 in a next week to break down. I can't wait to drop that fight week video. And yeah, until next time.